Hi friends, good morning. IACE BRAHMASTRA program lo bhaganga error location lo ee roju manam part 3 lo unnam. Previous 2 classes lo error location chestunnam. Mari mukhyanga second day oka 10 rules discuss cheskunnam. Ee roju kuda BRAHMASTRA ane ee program dwara mee munduku vachunnam. Marinni error locations అదే విధంగా మరికొన్ని రూల్స్ నేర్చుకుంటూ డే 2లో ఏవైతే ఎర్రర్ లొకేషన్ రూల్స్ నేర్చుకున్నామో వాటిని మరొకసారి గుర్తు చేసుకుందాం. వాటితో పాటుగా మరికొన్ని రూల్స్ నేర్చుకోవడానికి ప్రయత్నిద్దాం. రండి, దిస్ ఈస్ IACE బ్రహ్మాస్త్ర టు క్రాక్ మోర్ మార్క్స్ ఇన్ ఇంగ్లీష్ అండ్ నాట్ టు లీవ్ ఈవెన్ ఎ సింగిల్ మార్క్ ఇన్ ఎర్రర్ లొకేషన్. రాబోయే ఎగ్జామినేషన్స్లో ఒక్క మార్క్ కూడా ఎర్రర్ లొకేషన్ మిస్ అవ్వకుండా ఇది IACE నుంచి వస్తున్నటువంటి బ్రహ్మాస్త్ర. రండి చూద్దాం ద క్వశ్చన్ నెంబర్ 1 టుడే. ఎస్ మై డియర్ ఫ్రెండ్స్, ఐఎమ్ గివింగ్ టైమ్ యాజ్ యు ఆల్ రిక్వెస్టెడ్. ఐఎమ్ గివింగ్ టైమ్. ఒక్కసారి క్వశ్చన్ చదువుకోండి. ఎస్, దిస్ ఈస్ ద క్వశ్చన్ బిఫోర్ యూ. నౌ లెట్ మీ టెల్ యూ ద ఆన్సర్ విత్ ఎక్స్ప్లెనేషన్. ఓకే. Most people like to rest after a day's hard work. No error like V1, so that it is in the present tense, a common statement. Most people like to take or like to rest after a day's hard work. But he seemed to have, there is the problem. Like అనేటువంటిది present tense లో ఉంది. సో స్టేట్మెంట్ మీరు కామన్గా జనరల్ స్టేట్మెంట్గా ఇవ్వదలుచుకున్నప్పుడు హీ సీమ్డ్ టు హ్యావ్ కాదు మిత్రమా, ఇట్ మే బి సీమ్స్ టు హ్యావ్. హీ సీమ్స్ టు హ్యావ్ an inexhaustive supply of energy, so that as we can see here, like, and it is a general statement, you can use seems instead of seemed. So I'll tell you one word, inexhaustive supply of energy, which we call indefatigable. The word is indefatigable, tireless energy. So that, my dear friends, the question is over by this. Question number 2. Earlier, yesterday in the previous class, you learned that it is one of the boys, each of the rooms, none of the girls, so that each of the, one of the, none of the required. Yes, there you have to use the plural, but now you can read the question and identify the error. మిత్రమా, క్వశ్చన్ చదువుకోండి. వన్ ఆఫ్ ద, ఈచ్ ఆఫ్ ద, నన్ ఆఫ్ ద అనే రూల్ నుంచి వచ్చింది. మీకు ప్రీవియస్ క్లాస్లో నేర్పడం జరిగింది కాబట్టి మీరు దీనికి ఆన్సర్ చెప్పగలరు అని అనుకుంటున్నా. ఎస్, నన్ ఆఫ్ ద, ఇట్ ఈస్ నాట్ స్టూడెంట్, నన్ ఆఫ్ ద స్టూడెంట్స్. It is none of the student, it is none of the students. None of the students in the class scored below the given cutoff marks, so that part 1 has error here. The next question. Ashok is among the few people in the world. Here he is saying which. Here it is the error. It is not which, because he is following people here, so that you can apply who. It is not which, it is who. And it is not did not blindly follow, it may be do not blindly follow, because here it is in the present tense, so that you can take a general statement. In the general statement, you cannot use past tense verb, that is do not blindly follow, that cannot be did not blindly follow. So that, let me read once again the correct statement. Ashok is among the few people in the world who did not blindly follow the path of others. It is not which. Who do not blindly follow, it is not did not. So that, as it is a general statement, you can apply who do not blindly follow. Now let me tell you here, taking a 2-minute time, what is who? Yes, I can tell you that when I use the sentence, he is a good boy You can write this one. He is a boy who is good. Here you can understand here who is good, who is used as a subject, is a verb. So that who is good. After who you can find here is the verb. Why I am giving? In the previous examination there is a problem. Now I will tell you. In the previous examination there is a problem. Now I will tell you. He is a good boy. I like him very much. So writing these two sentences, he is a good boy, I like him very much. Now you can see he is a good boy. He is a good boy whom I like very much. Now you can see here I am using whom. Here I am using who. Yavarinaite, he is a good boy whom I like very much. Yavarinaite nenu ishtapadutunnanu. Here you can see who is good. Yavaraite, whoeverite, whomeverinite. Now let me tell you what happened in the 2023 in one of the examinations. Whom is good? Wrong. Who I like very much? Wrong. That is a given. One more time. Whom is good? Wrong. Who I like very much? Wrong. Who takes verb immediately after that? Remember it. Who takes verb immediately after that? Who playing the role of a subject, taking the verb here. And whom is a clear-cut conjunction here, because he is a good boy is a sentence. I like very much, so that whom takes a sentence after that, who takes a verb after that. He gives whom here, whom is good, wrong. He gives who here, who I like very much, that is also wrong. So that who takes a verb, whom takes a sentence. One more time. Who takes a verb, whom takes a sentence. This is what we have seen. We saw it in a 2023 examination. So that who is good, whom I like very much. That is the difference between who and whom. And you know, this is a board. This is a board which is black. Here, which is used for things. Which is used for things. Now, where we use where I met, that means it is for, where is for place. And when I met, that means when is used for time. Who person, whom person, which things, where place, when time. This is the application of WH. But when you are using who, immediately after who you have to apply verb. But when you are using whom, immediately after whom you have to apply sentence. Now like that. And which is for things, where is for places, and when is for times. Now let me go to the next one. Yes, my dear friends, let me explain this. In degrees of comparison, there are so many rules. And degrees of comparison, now let me tell you one rule. You know that tall, taller, tallest, long, longer, longest, big, bigger, biggest, small, smaller, smallest. But beautiful, beautifuller, beautifulest is not there. For beautiful you have to apply more beautiful, most beautiful, mitrama. Wonderful, more wonderful, most wonderful. Powerful, more powerful, most powerful. Where there is no comparative degree, to create a comparative degree, we use more. Where there is no superlative degree, to create superlative degree, we use most. So that, now tell me, tall has comparative taller and it has superlative tallest. But beautiful has no comparative, so that we are using more beautiful. There is no superlative, so that we are using most beautiful. Now tell me, beautiful, more beautiful, most beautiful is correct, as well as tall, taller, tallest. Now the question is, and the problem is, if I use more taller, can I use like that? Can I use like that? No, because tall is already had that it is having that particular taller. So that there is a comparative degree for that one. Why should I use more again? Akkada mitrama, tall ane padaniki taller ane padam undaga, nenu more taller ani apply cheyadam correct ena? It is wrong. So one bit I tell you, the past bit, the previous bit, the original bit. Mount Everest is the most highest peak. Now you see, highest is superlative degree, high, higher, highest. Is it necessary to use most? No. So that avoid more and most. Avoid unnecessary use of more and most. More taller is wrong because taller is there. No need to use more. Most highest is wrong because highest is there, so that there is no use of most. Like that, now you see here, most noisiest. It is not most noisiest. You can take this off, only use noisiest. What is the rule? Avoid unnecessary use of more and most. Now you say more taller is wrong, more better is wrong, most highest is wrong, most highest is wrong, most cleverest is wrong. Like that here, most noisiest is wrong because noisiest is there. There is no need to use most. The tennis player eased through the opening set before her opponent rallied to take the final 2 sets for the biggest victory of her young career. Chudaniki everything is all right kinda kanapadthundi. So, in one way, there is no error emo anipinchela undi. Opening set kaadu, opening set, I cannot consider this one as a typo error. But when you go through the sentence again and again and again and again, you can take one problem with that. What is that problem? You can see here before and rallied. Yes. And here it is easily. There is a rule. There is a rule. When there are 2 actions in the past, the earlier action should be past perfect, that is had plus V3. The latter action will be V2. Gatamlo rendu panulu jariginappudu munduga jarigina vishayanni had plus V3 lonu, taruvata jarigina vishayanni V2 lonu cheppalane rule ikkada apply avutondi. Otherwise there is no error at all. What is the rule? బిఫోర్ కానీ ఆఫ్టర్ కానీ ఉన్నప్పుడు, అక్కడ 2 పనులు జరిగినట్టుగా నీకు కనిపిస్తున్నప్పుడు, ముందుగా జరిగిన విషయాన్ని హార్డ్ ప్లస్ V3లోను, తర్వాత జరిగిన విషయాన్ని V2లోను చెప్పాలి మిత్రమా. మరి ఆ విధంగా చూసినట్లయితే ఇక్కడ 2 పనులు జరగడము జరిగింది. ముందు వెనక అని చెప్పడానికి బిఫోర్ అనే ప్రిపోజిషన్ కూడా వాడడం జరిగింది. ఐ విల్ టెల్ యూ, మీకు అందరికీ తెలుస్తున్నటువంటి ఎగ్జాంపుల్స్ కొన్ని చెప్తాను. ద ట్రైన్ హ్యాడ్ లెఫ్ట్ బిఫోర్ ఐ రీచ్డ్. సో నేను రీచ్ అవ్వడానికంటే ముందు వెళ్ళిపోయింది కాబట్టి మనం అక్కడ అప్లై చేసాం ఏమనంటే ద ట్రైన్ హ్యాడ్ లెఫ్ట్. అండ్ ద పోలీస్ హ్యాడ్, ద థీఫ్ హ్యాడ్ ఎస్కేప్డ్ బిఫోర్ ద పోలీస్ అరైవ్డ్. పోలీస్ రావడానికంటే ముందే వారు వెళ్ళిపోవడం జరిగింది. ఐ నో దట్ యు హ్యాడ్ టేకెన్ బ్రేక్ఫాస్ట్ బిఫోర్ యూ అటెండెడ్ ద క్లాస్. You had taken breakfast before you attended the class. What do you understand here? When there are 2 actions in the past, earlier action should be past perfect, latter action will be simple past. కదా. ముందుగా జరిగిన విషయాన్ని హ్యాడ్ ప్లస్ V3 లోను, తర్వాత జరిగిన విషయాన్ని V2 లోను చెప్పాలి మిత్రమా. మరి ఆ విధంగా తీసుకున్నప్పుడు ఇట్ ఈజ్ నాట్ ఈజ్డ్, ఇట్ ఈజ్ హ్యాడ్ ఈజ్డ్గా మనం మార్చవలసిన అవసరం ఉంటుంది. రూల్ హ్యాడ్ ప్లస్ V3 and V2. When there are two actions in the past, the earlier action should be past perfect, the latter action will be simple past. Yes, again one more bit. When deep sea diving, whether deep sea is diving, then you are diving in the deep sea. Okay, part 1 leave it. One should always take care, okay, that oxygen cylinder is tied, okay, to the back tightly. Everything is all right. But in the first phrase you see, when deep sea diving, when really tells about the time, and his intention is to tell that at the time of deep sea diving, at the time of deep sea diving, here for at the time of he used when, so that while you are reading this one you can get a doubt that it is not giving complete meaning. So it is not a grammatical error, I can say it is a sentence structural error, so that you can call it is not when deep sea diving, at the time of deep sea diving. Yes మిత్రమా, మీకు అందరికీ తెలుసున్నటువంటి ఎర్రర్, yes, you are right. Now let me explain the rule. The rule is since or for. Since for, I can tell you one more, that is how long. And you see like this is present perfect continuous, and in some conditions it is present perfect also. Present perfect continuous or present perfect also. Let us see what is there. Suresh Babu, who is living in this town since 1995. This particular since 1955 tells us that it is not present continuous. You have to change the tense to present perfect continuous. What is present perfect continuous? Has tells I am present, been tells I am perfect, verb plus ing tells I am continuous. This is called present perfect continuous. So that Suresh Babu, who has been living in this town since 1955, is a well-known scholar of history and a distinguished musician. So that it is Suresh Babu who has been living. Since for, they tell us perfect continuous. My dear friends, what is present perfect continuous? What is present continuous? Yes, my dear friends, I am teaching. It is present continuous. If I want to add time to that, for 30 years, for 25 years like that, if I add 25 years to that, what it will be? I have been teaching for 25 years. Narendra Modi is ruling, present continuous. I want to add 10 years to that. Now Narendra Modi has been ruling for 10 years. So for present continuous, if you add time, it will become present perfect continuous. Present continuous, a continuous action in the present. Present perfect continuous, an action started in the past, continuous in the present, that is called present perfect continuous. She has been working for 10 years means she started her working 10 years back, still she is working, so that we can say she has been working for 10 years. That is since and for. My dear friends, let me tell you, there is a problem with since for again. Everyone thinks since for present perfect continuous. They are useful not only for the present perfect continuous, they are useful for the past perfect continuous, future perfect continuous also. Let me tell you that she said that She said that she had been working for 10 years. Mitrama, for 10 years tells us perfect continuous. She said tells us past tense, so that it is past perfect continuous. She said that she had been working for 10 years. So for 10 years, since for is used in past perfect continuous. I'll tell you one more example. By 2030. By 2030. What do you mean by 2030? That is future. By 2030, you will have been working. Oh my dear friends, Mitrama, you will have been working. Future perfect continuous for 5 years. For 5 years. For 5 years says it is perfect continuous. By 2030 says it is future. Now see, by 2030, you will have been working for 10 years. By this, what do you understand? By this, what do you understand? Since for is used, present perfect continuous. If past indication is there, past perfect continuous. If future indication is there, future perfect continuous. So that since for are used in all the three perfect continuous. ఎట్టి పరిస్థితుల్లో కేవలం ప్రెజెంట్ పర్ఫెక్ట్ కంటిన్యూస్ అనుకోవద్దు. ఎగ్జామినర్ అలా లేడు, దానిని పాస్ట్లో ఇస్తున్నాడు, అప్పుడు పాస్ట్ పర్ఫెక్ట్ కంటిన్యూస్ అవుతుంది. ఒకవేళ ఫ్యూచర్ ఇచ్చినట్లయితే ఫ్యూచర్ పర్ఫెక్ట్ కంటిన్యూస్ అవుతుంది. జాగ్రత్త, సిన్స్ ఫర్ కేవలము పర్ఫెక్ట్ కంటిన్యూస్, ప్రజెంట్ మాత్రమే కాదు, అది పాస్ట్లో ఫ్యూచర్లో. పాస్ట్ పర్ఫెక్ట్ కంటిన్యూస్ అవ్వాలంటే సిన్స్ ఫర్తో పాటుగా పాస్ట్ ఇండికేషన్ ఉండాలి. ఫ్యూచర్ పర్ఫెక్ట్ కంటిన్యూస్ అవ్వాలంటే సిన్స్ ఫర్తో పాటుగా ఫ్యూచర్ ఇండికేషన్ ఉండాలి. ఇకపోతే ఎస్టర్డే అనేది పాస్ట్ టెన్స్. ఎస్టర్డే అనేది పాస్ట్ టెన్స్. సిన్స్ ఎస్టర్డే అనేటువంటిది మళ్ళీ ప్రెజెంట్ టెన్స్ అయింది. ఎస్టర్డే ఈజ్ పాస్ట్ టెన్స్, సిన్స్ ఎస్టర్డే ఈజ్ ప్రెజెంట్ టెన్స్. If I say 1947, that is past. But I say since 1947, I am taking from 1947 to 2024. Since is saying that when you are using since 1947, that is not past tense. Since 1947 is present tense. One more time. So if I use last Sunday, that is past tense. If I use since last Sunday, that means last Sunday nundi ippati varaku inka. So that when you use since before the past tense, that becomes present tense here. So that is a since and a for. And one more thing you know well, where to use since, where to use for. Since point of time, for period of time. Everyone says. But what is point of time? What is period of time? We should know that. For example, a duration of time. For a duration of time, if you name it, that is called period. For example, 100 years, that can be called century. So centuries, that is a period. If you call 10 years, that is a decade. Decades, that is period. Like that, what is period of time? Let me tell you, what is period of time? That is centuries, 100 years, decades, okay, years, in years, months, in month, weeks, in weeks, days, in day, hours, in hours, minutes, in minutes, seconds. All these are period of time. Now let me tell you one more time. Centuries, decades, years, months, weeks, days, hours, minutes, seconds. All these are period of time. There you can use for. Sir, for ledu sir. Over. అది కూడా లేదు సార్. ఫర్ ఓవర్. సో దట్ పీరియడ్ ఆఫ్ టైమ్ టేక్స్ 3. ఫర్ 10 years, ఓవర్ 10 years, ఫర్ ఓవర్ 10 years. That's it about the since and for. Go to the next one. The house where the dead man was found. చూద్దాం. Is being guarded by police to prevent it from being entered and the evidence interfered with. It is not where the dead man was found. Again, structural problem. The house where the man was found dead. Structural problem. Dead man was found is wrong. Here you can say that where the man was found dead. It is not dead man found. The man was found. How? Dead. So that the house where the man was found dead, That is a constructional problem. Question number 10. Wow, very good. Good bit. Yes. We are still awaiting for the committee decision about the pension plan. Here committee's decision, one thing, committee decision we can accept. But what is this? Awaiting for, that is the problem here. My dear friends, await is equal to wait for. Await is equal to wait for. So that it is not awaiting mitrama, it is waiting for. Or otherwise remove for. We are still awaiting the committee decision. One, we are still awaiting the committee decision, or otherwise we are still waiting for the committee decision. Awaiting the committee decision or awaiting the committee decision or waiting for the committee decision. Question number 11. Habit of regular saving helps us during bad times. చాలా పర్టిక్యులర్గా మనల్ని మనం సేవ్ చేసుకోవాలి బ్యాడ్ టైమ్స్లో అంటే మనకేదో ఒక హ్యాబిట్ ఖచ్చితంగా ఉండాలి అని చెప్తున్నాడు. చాలా డెఫినెట్గా ఒక ప్రత్యేకమైనటువంటి హ్యాబిట్ గురించి మనకు చెప్తున్నప్పుడు మరి డెఫినెట్ ఆర్టికల్ వాడి ఉండాలి కదా. సో చాలా పర్టికులర్గా చెప్తున్నాడు ఏమనంటే, చాలా స్పెషల్గా చెప్తున్నాడు ఏమనంటే, అటువంటి హ్యాబిట్ ఉన్నట్లయితే మనల్ని మనము బ్యాడ్ టైమ్స్లో సేవ్ చేసుకోవచ్చు అని. కాబట్టి దట్ ఈజ్ నాట్ habit of regular saving, that is the habit of regular saving. Because చాలా స్ట్రెస్ చేసి పర్టికులర్గా ఒక హ్యాబిట్ గురించి మనకు చెప్తున్నప్పుడు, స్పెషల్గా పర్టికులర్గా మనకు చెప్తున్నప్పుడు, ఇన్ దట్ స్పెషల్ కేస్ వీ హ్యావ్ టు యూజ్ డెఫినెట్ ఆర్టికల్ ద, సో దట్ ఇట్ ఈస్ హ్యాబిట్ ఆఫ్ రెగ్యులర్ సేవింగ్ కాదు మిత్రమా. ద హ్యాబిట్ ఆఫ్ regular saving helps us to know what people react. There you can find an error. To know what people react కాదండి, పీపుల్ ఎలా రియాక్ట్ అవుతారో తెలుసుకోవాలి అంటే అక్కడ అప్లై చేయవలసినటువంటిది హౌ. ఇప్పుడు చదవండి ఒకసారి. అగైన్ కన్స్ట్రక్షనల్ ప్రాబ్లం. టు నో how people react to an unforeseen situation is very important to decide our course of action. To know what people react to is wrong. ఎలా రియాక్ట్ అవుతారో చెప్పాలి కాబట్టి you can use how. Now let us read. To know how people react to an unforeseen situation is very important to decide our course of action. It is not what, it is how. Now the next one. Yes, my dear friends, the bank may have followed an aggressive monetary tightening policy, but its stated aim of curbing inflation have not been achieved. My dear friend, the bank may have followed an aggressive monetary tightening policy, but its stated aim of curbing inflation, this is the subject, aim of curbing inflation, singular ఆ plural ఆ? ఓ మిత్రమా, aim of curbing inflation ఏమంటారు, singular ఆ plural ఆ? Yes, it is not aims of, it is aim of curbing inflation, singular. And you know the singular verbs is, was, has, v1 plus s, so that it is not have, it is has. So you know subject singular అయినప్పుడు సింగులర్ వెర్బే తీసుకోవాలి. వాట్ ఈస్ ద సబ్జెక్ట్ హియర్? ఎయిమ్ ఆఫ్ కర్బింగ్ ఇన్ఫ్లేషన్. హియర్ ఎయిమ్ అనేటువంటిది సింగులర్ కాబట్టి ఏం తీసుకుందామయ్యా? సింగులర్ వెర్బ్ హ్యాజ్ తీసుకుందాం. ప్రీవియస్ క్లాస్లో మీరు నేర్చుకున్నారు ఏమనంటే ఈజ్, వాజ్, హ్యాజ్, v1 ప్లస్ ఎస్లు సింగులర్లని, ఆర్, వర్, హ్యావ్, v1లు ప్లూరల్ అని నేర్చుకున్నారు. ఇన్ దట్ సెన్స్ ఇట్ ఈస్ ఎయిమ్ ఆఫ్ కర్బింగ్ ఇన్ఫ్లేషన్ సింగులర్ కాబట్టి హ్యాజ్ అప్లై చేస్తున్నాం ఇన్స్టెడ్ ఆఫ్ హ్యావ్. ఎస్, ద రిపోర్ట్ ఈజ్ candid in admitting that the investment by the government in health and family planning The investment by the government in health and family planning is the subject. Have is the verb. Now you can have a doubt. What is here? The subject is the investment. Subject is the investment. Now you can read the investment by the government in health and family planning. What is eroded here? Investment eroded. Investment is singular, so that we can apply has instead of have. When the subject is singular, apply singular verb. When the subject is plural, apply plural verb. What is the subject here? The investment. The investment by government in health and family planning. The investment is singular, so that we can use has instead of have. The Ministry of Labor conducts its basic survey on trade unions every year, gathering information with all labor unions. Okay, no. One more time. The Ministry of Labor conducts, yes, absolutely right, its basic survey on trade unions every year. Mitrama, in the previous class you learned, usually, naturally, regularly, every year, every month, ఇలాంటి వచ్చినప్పుడు V1 రావాలి లేదా V1 plus S రావాలి. Absolutely right. The Ministry of Labor singular conducts V1 plus S because there is every year. Absolutely right. Now, gathering information తీసుకుంటున్నప్పుడు అది with కాదు మిత్రమా, that is from. We have to use from. Now let us see gathering information from all labor unions. Gathering information from all labor unions. 15th question for the day. The director of our company, singular, does not believe, correct, that we are working sincerely and with interest for all these years. Oh my dear friends, for all these years, when you find since or for, try to do it one. చేయడానికి ప్రయత్నించండి మిత్రమా. For all these years, yes, the director of our company does not believe that we are working sincerely and with interest for all these years, so that this is a present perfect continuous. You can apply we have been working. Why we are using have been working? We are using have been working because there is for all these years. So that since for వచ్చినప్పుడు have been గాని has been గాని అప్లై చేయవలసి ఉంది. That is what we applied here. These are the 15 questions of the day. Now, previous class లో చెప్పుకున్నటువంటి 10 rules ఒకసారి మాట్లాడుకున్నాక మరొక 5 rules మాట్లాడుకుందాం. What are the rules that we discussed? Rule number 1. Usually, naturally, generally వచ్చినప్పుడు V1 use చేయాలి when there is third person singular verb takes S or ES. In the second rule we learned 2. The preposition takes V1 which we call 2 plus V1. In the third rule, let, get, make, help, had better, had sooner, these are they are taking V1 only. He gives 2 plus V1. That is the violation. And then modal plus V1. Will, would, shall, should and others, they take V1. Fifth rule is do plus V1, does plus V1, did plus V1. Sixth rule is, was, has, V1 plus S. These are all singulars. Are, were, have, V1. These are all plurals. It is not one of the boy, it is one of the boys. One of the, each of the, none of the. When we see these, that is a singular. One of the singular, each of the singular, none of the singular. And later we learnt neither nor, either or, not only but also if the second subject is singular, it is singular with, along with, as well as if the first subject is singular, it is singular. Mitrama, committee, team, group, family, herd, flock, fleet, all these are collective nouns. We can see all the collective nouns are singulars accepted, but collective nouns are Singulars when they are collective. Collective nouns are singulars when they are collective. I'll tell you, the committee has taken a decision. Here the committee, while taking the decision, it is united, so that the committee has taken decision correct. The committee have withdrawn the salaries. Here the committee, while drawing the salaries, it is divided, so that have. So taking a decision united, singular, drawing salaries divided, plural. The family has gone to temple, united, has correct. The family have gone for their duties. The family have gone for their duties. Here, while they are going for their duties, they are divided, so that it is plural. So that collective noun, while in the action, if it is collective, singular, if not, it is plural. That is what we are saying. Bread and butter, you know, bread and butter. While using bread and butter, bread, it is my bread and butter, I say. And bread is different, butter is different. In SSC, in 1 year we did see in the CGL, bread and butter are available in the shop, correct? Because bread is different, butter is different. Bread is available somewhere, butter is available somewhere. So that in the shop, it is plural. Bread and butter is my breakfast, because in breakfast we apply butter on the bread. Both are same. As both are same, bread and butter singular. In the shop it is plural, in the restaurant it is singular. And you know, your character and conduct is satisfactory. Your character and conduct is satisfactory. You know, sum and substance, singular. And you say, my father is my guide. My father and guide, only one. So that my father and guide is coming. If my father is different, my guide is different. There I can say, my father and my guide are coming, because there are two. My father and guide is coming. My father and my guide are coming. Now you can say, bread and butter, shop lo ayinatlaite singular, restaurant lo ayinatlaite, shop lo aithe plural, restaurant lo aithe singular. Character and conduct singular. My father and guide singular. My father and my guide are plural. Now, any part of singular is singular, any part of plural is plural. So 1/3 of the population, here population is singular, so that 1/3 of the population is also singular. 1/3 of people, here people is plural, so that 1/3 of people is plural. 1/3 of population singular, so that it is singular. 1/3 of people is plural, so that it is plural. Any part of singular is singular, any part of plural is plural. And the next one is, every boy and every girl, singular. Each boy and each girl, singular. Because every and every singular, each and each singular. Now let me tell you one more time. Committee, team, group, family, herd, flock, fleet, all these are collective nouns. When these collective nouns are singular, when they are collective in action, when they divide in action, they are plural. That is the rule. And the next rule, bread and butter, shop lo aithe plural, restaurant lo aithe singular. And character and conduct, sum and substance, all these are singulars. And my uncle and guide, singular. My uncle and my guide, plural. Now the next rule, that is any part of singular is singular, any part of plural is plural. Half of the book, singular. Half of the books, plural. At the same time, every boy and every girl, singular. Each boy and each girl, singular. These are the rules of the day. This is the third day. You are with the Brahmastra, and you learn many more bits. In the next session also, we are going and will be there with you with many more rules and with many more questions to crack. Brahmastra is designed to make you all strong enough to crack all the bits in errors. Error location lo ఒక్క బిట్ కూడా పోవడానికి వీల్లేదు. ఎవ్రీ బిట్ మనం క్రాక్ చేయాలి. ఆ ఉద్దేశంతో బ్రహ్మాస్త్ర ద్వారా అనేక ఎర్రర్ లొకేషన్ బిట్స్ మీ ముందుకు వస్తూ ఉన్నాయి. ఇవి మాత్రమే కాదు, ఫ్యూచర్లో మరిన్ని ఇంగ్లీష్ టాపిక్ వైజ్ మీ ముందుకు రాబోతూ ఉన్నాయి బ్రహ్మాస్త్ర అనే ప్రోగ్రామ్ ద్వారా, వేర్ యూ కెన్ లెర్న్, వేర్ యూ కెన్ ప్రాక్టీస్ and where you can put all this into your final examination. I wish you all the best. Meet you again tomorrow with some more bits and some more rules. Thank you very much.